Have you ever wondered what truly captivates someone's heart? What is it about certain people that draws others in, not with loud proclamations or grand gestures, but with an unspoken allure? In a world obsessed with flashy displays and instant gratification, there lies a quieter, more profound way to show your loved one your true worth. It's not in what you say, but in how you silently move through life with purpose, confidence, and authenticity. Imagine a world where every glance, every action, every pause speaks volumes. A world where your presence alone leaves a lasting impression, sparking curiosity and admiration. What if you could become that person? Someone whose value is undeniable, whose essence lingers in the minds of others long after you've left the room. This journey isn't about changing who you are. It's about unearthing the treasure within and letting it shine naturally. Over the next few moments, we'll explore 9 silent actions rooted in ancient Stoicism that will transform the way others see you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. These aren't mere tricks or fleeting tactics. They are timeless practices that cultivate a magnetic inner strength. But here's the twist. The most powerful secret lies in the final action. Will you make it to the end? Will you unlock the key to mastering this silent dance of self-worth? Let's begin this captivating journey together, starting with perhaps the most misunderstood principle of all. Never chase, always value. 1. Never chase, always value. Do you feel the urge to chase after love? It's a feeling we've all experienced, the frantic need to hold on when someone starts to slip away. But here's the truth. Chasing never leads to true connection. It only leaves you feeling drained, vulnerable, and unworthy. So why do we do it? Why do we chase what seems to run from us? The answer lies in our fear of losing something we believe defines our worth. When someone starts to distance themselves, our instinct is to fill the gap, to prove our value by pursuing them. But in reality, every step of the chase diminishes your self-worth. You see, love and admiration cannot be forced. They must flow naturally, drawn by the strength of your inner confidence and the quiet power of your self-respect. Imagine this. You're standing on a beach, trying to catch the water slipping through your fingers. The more desperately you try, the more it escapes. But when you let your hand rest in the ocean, the water embraces you willingly. Love works in much the same way. When you stop chasing and start valuing yourself, you create a gravitational pull that naturally attracts those who see your worth. Why is this so effective? Because people are inherently drawn to confidence. When you value yourself, you send an unspoken message. I am worthy, with or without you. It's not about arrogance or playing games. It's about embodying a quiet assurance that speaks for itself. This is a principle deeply rooted in Stoicism, which teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own actions and mindset, and let go of what we cannot. You cannot control someone else's feelings, but you can control how you present yourself to the world. The power of valuing yourself lies in the energy you project. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your power. Suddenly, you're not just another person vying for attention, you become someone worth noticing. People will be intrigued by your calm confidence, your refusal to bend to insecurity. And here's the beautiful irony. When you no longer feel the need to chase, you often find that love and respect come to you effortlessly. But how do you break the habit of chasing? Start by shifting your focus inward. Build a life so rich and fulfilling that you don't have time to worry about who is or isn't giving you attention. Cultivate your passions, invest in your growth, and surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. As you do this, you'll notice a change, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. So ask yourself, are you chasing someone who isn't reciprocating your energy? What would happen if you stopped? What if you redirected that energy into valuing yourself instead? The answer might surprise you. Remember, the goal isn't to play hard to get, it's to truly understand your worth. When you embody this principle, you'll find that the right people, those who truly see your value, will naturally gravitate toward you. and those who don't. They were never meant to be part of your journey. Stay with me as we dive deeper into this silent dance of self-worth. Up next, we'll explore how to uncover the hidden treasures within you with our second action. Understand your true worth. 2. Understand your true worth. What is your worth? Have you ever truly stopped to ponder this question? In the rush of daily life, it's easy to measure ourselves by external markers: how many likes we get on social media, the compliments we receive, or even the level of interest shown by someone we admire. But let's step back for a moment. What if your worth had nothing to do with any of that? What if it was something deeper, unshakable, and entirely within your control? Picture yourself as a rare gemstone buried beneath layers of earth. Not everyone will notice your brilliance, and some might even overlook you entirely. But their ignorance doesn't diminish your value, does it? You remain precious, rare, and one of a kind. This is the essence of understanding your true worth, knowing that your value exists independently of external recognition. In the philosophy of Stoicism, self-worth is a cornerstone. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what lies within our control. And here's the secret: your self-perception is one of those things. How you see yourself shapes not only your own life, but also how others see and treat you. If you understand your true worth, you carry yourself differently. You radiate a quiet confidence that needs no validation. Now let's get real. Have you ever felt the sting of rejection or inadequacy? It's a universal experience, especially in today's hyper-connected world where everyone seems to be thriving. But here's a crucial question. When you face rejection, do you allow it to chip away at your self-esteem? Or do you stand firm, knowing that rejection is merely someone's inability to recognize your value? When you root your worth in your principles, actions, and character, rejection loses its power. You begin to see it not as a reflection of your value, but as a natural part of life's journey. This mindset shift is transformative. It allows you to navigate relationships with resilience and grace. But how do you uncover your true worth? It starts with reflection. Take a moment to think about your qualities, not just the obvious ones, but the deeper aspects of who you are. Are you compassionate, courageous, honest? These are the treasures that define your worth. They are the foundation upon which meaningful connections are built. As you cultivate this inner awareness, something remarkable happens. You begin to carry yourself differently. You no longer seek approval because you understand that your worth isn't up for negotiation. And here's the magic. When you value yourself, others can't help but notice. They see the strength in your authenticity, the beauty in your self-assuredness. Understanding your worth isn't a one-time revelation, it's a daily practice. It's waking up each morning and reminding yourself of your unique qualities. It's choosing to act in alignment with your values, even when it's difficult. And it's refusing to let external opinions dictate how you feel about yourself. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you truly appreciated who you are? Have you taken the time to acknowledge your inner strengths and virtues? If not, now is the perfect moment to start. Because the more you understand your worth, the more you'll attract people who see and appreciate you for who you truly are. Let's move forward on this journey. In our next section, we'll explore how to embody this newfound understanding through silent yet powerful actions. Get ready to learn how to present yourself with dignity and captivate others without saying a word. 3. Present yourself with dignity. Have you ever met someone whose mere presence commanded respect? They didn't have to boast, exaggerate, or seek validation. Their quiet confidence and authenticity spoke louder than words. This is the essence of presenting yourself with dignity. It's about carrying yourself in a way that reflects self-respect, poise, and an unshakable sense of worth. But what does dignity really look like in the context of relationships? Let's begin with a simple truth. Dignity isn't about perfection or putting on a facade. It's not about wearing the most expensive clothes or showing off your achievements. True dignity comes from within, It's the way you present yourself to the world, rooted in authenticity and self-awareness. Think of it like this. You are a canvas, and every decision you make, how you dress, how you speak, and how you carry yourself, paints a picture of who you are. Are you showcasing your true self, or are you trying to mold yourself into what you think others want to see? The Stoics believed in living honestly and authentically, staying true to one's values regardless of external pressures. This principle applies perfectly to how you present yourself in relationships. Let's dive deeper. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of overcompensation. You might dress in a way that doesn't feel authentic or speak in a manner that doesn't align with your true self, all to impress someone else. But here's the paradox. The more you try to become what you think others want, the less captivating you become. Why? Because people are drawn to authenticity. Imagine two people giving a presentation. One uses flashy language and dramatic gestures, hoping to wow the audience. The other speaks simply but with confidence, sharing their thoughts honestly. Which one leaves a lasting impression? More often than not, it's the latter, the one who doesn't try too hard but instead embodies self-assuredness and grace. So how do you begin to present yourself with dignity in your relationships? Start by embracing who you are. If you love reading, share that passion. If you're fascinated by art, let it shine through in your conversations. When you allow your authentic self to come forward, you naturally attract people who appreciate you for you, not for a persona you've crafted. Dignity also involves setting boundaries around how you allow yourself to be treated. Remember, the way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you constantly criticize yourself or downplay your achievements, you're indirectly signaling to others that it's okay to do the same. But when you carry yourself with respect, speaking kindly to yourself, honoring your needs, and valuing your time, you send a powerful message. I deserve respect, and I expect it in return. Here's an important question to reflect on. Are you presenting yourself in a way that aligns with your values? If not, what small shifts can you make today to start embodying dignity? Maybe it's choosing to speak more kindly to yourself or dressing in a way that feels true to your personality. And here's where it gets exciting. When you begin to carry yourself with dignity, you'll notice a shift in how others perceive you. Suddenly, you're not just someone they casually know, you become someone they admire, someone they want to know on a deeper level. Dignity isn't about demanding respect. It's about quietly commanding it through your actions and presence. Now, a quick favor. If you found this journey insightful so far, take a moment to like this video. Your support helps spread this powerful message to others who might need it. Together, we can help more people discover their true worth and navigate relationships with confidence and grace. Up next, we'll explore an equally crucial silent action: the art of nonverbal communication. Get ready to learn how subtle cues can speak volumes in your relationships. 4. The art of nonverbal communication. Have you ever walked into a room and felt an immediate connection with someone, even before a single word was exchanged? Or perhaps you've experienced the opposite, an unspoken tension that made you feel distant and disconnected. Nonverbal communication, the silent language of gestures, expressions, and presence, is one of the most powerful tools in showing your true worth. It's not about what you say, but how you carry yourself when words are absent. In the realm of relationships, nonverbal cues often speak louder than spoken words. The way you move, the way you hold someone's gaze, and even the way you pause in conversation, all of these elements tell a story. What story are you telling? Are your actions reflecting confidence and self-respect, or are they revealing insecurity and doubt? Let's consider the power of eye contact. When you lock eyes with someone, it's more than just a casual glance. It's an unspoken connection. It says, I'm present, I'm engaged, and I see you. Then there's the way you carry your body. Your posture, for instance, is a silent indicator of your self-esteem. Are you standing tall, shoulders relaxed, head held high? Or are you slouching, trying to make yourself smaller? A confident posture not only changes how others perceive you, but also influences how you feel about yourself. Try it, stand tall, and you'll notice an immediate boost in your own confidence. But perhaps the most intriguing part of nonverbal communication is the concept of being fully present. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, true presence is rare and therefore incredibly valuable. When you're with someone, be with them. Put away your phone, lean in slightly as they speak, and show through your body language that they have your undivided attention. This simple act can transform the quality of your interactions and leave a lasting impression. Here's a question for you to ponder. Nonverbal communication also extends to how you manage your availability. In relationships, there's a certain allure in not always being immediately accessible. This doesn't mean playing games or deliberately withholding your time, but rather valuing your energy and deciding where and when to invest it. When you're present, be fully present, but when you're not, embrace the power of absence. This balance creates a sense of intrigue and respect, much like the Stoic approach to emotional self-mastery. And let's not forget the importance of touch. A gentle, intentional gesture can communicate care and connection in ways that words often cannot. Whether it's a light touch on the arm during a conversation or a comforting hand on the shoulder, these small, mindful actions can deepen your bond with someone. Ultimately, the art of nonverbal communication is about aligning your external cues with your internal values. It's about showing, not telling, who you are and what you stand for. When your actions, presence, and body language consistently reflect your inner confidence, you create a powerful and magnetic impression. Ready to take your self-respect to the next level? Let's dive into the next principle. Be ready to walk away, a bold yet necessary move in maintaining your dignity and worth in any relationship. 5. Be ready to walk away. What does it truly mean to walk away? At its core, it's a bold declaration of self-respect, a statement that says, I know my worth, and I refuse to compromise it. But let's be honest, how many times have you stayed in a situation that drained your energy or clashed with your values, simply because walking away felt too daunting? The truth is, walking away is one of the most powerful silent actions you can take in any relationship. It's not about dramatics or ultimatums. It's about quietly and confidently choosing what aligns with your inner peace. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our choices, and our responses. You cannot control someone else's behavior, but you can control whether you continue to stay in a dynamic that no longer serves you. Why is this so impactful? Because it flips the script. Instead of clinging to someone else's approval, you assert your own standards. You stop seeking external validation and start honoring your own needs. In that moment, you become a person who knows their value and isn't afraid to uphold it.
Let's paint a picture. Imagine you're in a relationship that's become unbalanced. Perhaps you're always the one reaching out, the one compromising, the one giving more than you're receiving. You feel unappreciated, but the fear of losing the connection keeps you anchored. Now, imagine a different scenario. You decide to step back, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. You recognize that staying is costing you your dignity.
In this act of walking away, you reclaim your power. It's not about punishing the other person, it's about prioritizing your well-being. And here's the fascinating part. When you walk away, you often shift the dynamic. The other person is forced to reflect, and more often than not, they begin to see you in a new light. But what if they don't? What if they let you go without a fight? That's when Stoicism reminds us of an important truth. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life. And that's okay. Walking away isn't a loss, it's a step forward. You're making space for people and experiences that align with your values and uplift your spirit. So how do you find the courage to walk away? Start by tuning into your inner compass. Ask yourself, is this relationship honoring my worth, or is it chipping away at it? If the answer is the latter, remind yourself that your peace and dignity are priceless. Trust that by letting go of what isn't right, you're creating room for something better. Here's a thought to reflect on. Have you ever been in a situation where walking away felt impossible, yet once you did, you felt a weight lift from your shoulders? How did it change your perspective? Let's hear from you in the comments. Share your story of finding the strength to walk away. Whether you're navigating this decision now or have done so in the past, your experience might inspire someone else to take that courageous step. And now, let's move forward. Our next lesson explores a crucial aspect of maintaining your self-worth. Set boundaries silently. This silent art will help you reinforce your value without needing to say a word. 6. Set boundaries silently. What if I told you that the most powerful boundaries aren't the ones loudly declared, but the ones quietly upheld? Setting boundaries doesn't require grand announcements or confrontations. Instead, it's about embodying your values through consistent actions, showing the world and yourself what you will and won't accept. Let's explore this idea. Boundaries are like invisible lines that protect your peace and define your worth. But here's the challenge. It's easy to talk about boundaries, to say, I won't tolerate this or that. The real test comes when those lines are crossed. Will you compromise? Or will you silently and confidently hold your ground? The Stoics believe that actions speak louder than words, and this is especially true when it comes to boundaries. Words can be ignored or forgotten, but actions leave no room for misinterpretation. Imagine this. You value honesty deeply. One day, someone close to you bends the truth. You have two options: ignore it and let the behavior slide, or calmly and firmly address it through your response. By choosing the latter, you're not just talking about your boundary, you're living it. Why is this silent approach so effective? Because it communicates your values without unnecessary drama. It shows that your boundaries aren't negotiable, they're an integral part of who you are. And when others see that you consistently uphold your standards, they learn to respect them. But how do you set these boundaries in practice? Start with self-awareness. Know your non-negotiables, those core values and principles that define you. Then, let your actions reflect them. If someone disrespects your time by constantly canceling plans, respond by being less available. If someone takes advantage of your kindness, learn to say no without explanation.
Here's the beauty of silent boundaries. They don't just teach others how to treat you, they remind you of your own worth. Every time you uphold a boundary, you're reinforcing the message, I respect myself. And that's a powerful form of self-love.
Let's be real. Upholding boundaries isn't always easy. It can feel uncomfortable, especially if you fear losing someone's approval. But remember this, people who truly value you will respect your boundaries. Those who don't were never meant to be in your life for the long haul. Here's a simple exercise. Think about an area in your life where your boundaries feel unclear. What silent action could you take today to reinforce them? Maybe it's declining an invitation that doesn't align with your priorities, or perhaps it's stepping back from someone who drains your energy. Now, let's hear from you. In the comments below, share one way you've silently set a boundary in your life. How did it feel? How did it feel? How did others respond? Your insights could inspire someone else to embrace this powerful practice. As we continue, we'll explore the next silent action that complements boundary setting perfectly. Actions speak louder than words. Get ready to dive into the art of showing your worth through what you do, not just what you say. 7. Actions speak louder than words. In the delicate dance of human connection, words often take center stage. Sweet whispers of affection, grand promises of a future together. These can easily sweep us off our feet. But how often do we stop to consider? Do their actions align with their words? It's a question worth asking, and here's why. In a world where words are cheap, actions remain the ultimate proof of character. Stoicism. Let's take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever encountered someone who said all the right things, but when it came time to act, they fell short? Perhaps they promised to be there for you, yet disappeared when you needed them most. Or maybe they spoke of commitment but consistently prioritized everything else over your relationship. The dissonance between their words and actions likely left you feeling confused or even betrayed. The Stoics would urge you to pay attention to this imbalance. They believe that actions are the truest reflection of a person's values and intentions. In relationships, this wisdom is invaluable. It empowers you to see past the charm and focus on what truly matters: consistency, reliability, and integrity. But here's where it gets interesting. This principle doesn't just apply to others, it applies to you as well. Ask yourself, are my actions aligned with the values I hold dear? If you claim to value honesty, are you being transparent with your loved ones? If you say you prioritize quality time, are you actually making the effort to be present? Living in alignment with your values requires self-awareness and discipline. It's about ensuring that your deeds match your words, creating a harmonious reflection of who you truly are. And when you hold yourself to this standard, something remarkable happens. You naturally attract people who do the same. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Imagine a relationship where both partners consistently show up for each other, not just in words but in meaningful actions. They don't just say they care, they demonstrate it through their behavior. They listen attentively, honor their commitments, and stand by each other in times of need. This kind of relationship isn't built on fleeting promises. It's built on a solid foundation of trust and respect. On the flip side, when someone's actions repeatedly fail to match their words, it's a red flag. It signals a lack of alignment, a discrepancy that can erode the foundation of any relationship. The Stoic response: observe, reflect, and, if necessary, adjust your course. Don't let the allure of words cloud your judgment. Instead, let actions guide your decisions. Here's an exercise to try. Think of someone in your life whose words have consistently matched their actions. How does that make you feel about them? Now think of someone whose actions have fallen short. How has that impacted your trust in them? This reflection can offer powerful insights into the dynamics of your relationships. Ultimately, living by the principle that actions speak louder than words will transform the way you engage with others. You'll learn to trust more deeply, but only when trust is earned through consistent behavior. And as you hold others accountable to this standard, you'll find that they, in turn, respect and value your authenticity. Ready to deepen your understanding of relationships even further? Up next, we'll explore the delicate balance of trust and discernment with Cultivate Healthy Skepticism. This lesson will teach you how to keep your heart open while staying grounded in reality. 8. Cultivate Healthy Skepticism. Have you ever fallen for someone's words, only to realize later that they were too good to be true? It's a common experience. After all, who doesn't want to believe in the promise of something wonderful? But as enchanting as those early moments can be, it's important to remember that not everything is as it seems. This is where cultivating healthy skepticism becomes a crucial silent action in showing your true worth. Now, let's be clear. Skepticism doesn't mean cynicism. It's not about doubting everyone's intentions or closing yourself off from love. Instead, it's about striking a balance between trust and discernment. It's about allowing yourself to enjoy the beauty of connection while staying grounded in reality. The Stoics were masters of this principle. They believed in seeing the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. This perspective is invaluable in relationships, where emotions can sometimes cloud judgment. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond the surface and question what lies beneath. Imagine meeting someone who seems perfect. They're saying all the right things, painting a picture of a future together that feels almost magical. It's tempting to dive in headfirst, to let your heart lead without hesitation. But here's where healthy skepticism steps in, whispering gently. Take your time. Observe. Let their actions confirm their words. This approach isn't about waiting for someone to fail or assuming the worst. It's about giving yourself the space to see things clearly. By observing their behavior over time, you can assess whether their actions align with their promises. Are they consistent? Do they follow through on their commitments? How do they handle challenges or conflicts? These questions are vital because they reveal the true character of the person you're getting to know. And here's the beauty of it. When you practice healthy skepticism, you protect your heart without building walls around it. You remain open to love, but you do so with wisdom and self-awareness. Let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever rushed into a relationship only to realize later that you missed important warning signs? How might things have been different if you had taken the time to observe and reflect before fully committing? Cultivating healthy skepticism also involves being honest with yourself about your own desires and expectations. Sometimes we see what we want to see, projecting our hopes onto someone rather than seeing them for who they truly are. By practicing mindfulness and self-reflection, you can avoid this trap and engage with others more authentically. There's another benefit to this approach. It strengthens your resilience. When you embrace skepticism as a tool for discernment, you're less likely to be blindsided by disappointment. You learn to navigate the highs and lows of relationships with a calm, steady mindset, grounded in the knowledge that your worth isn't tied to someone else's actions or approval. So how can you start cultivating healthy skepticism today? Begin by paying attention to patterns. Notice how people show up in your life, not just once, but consistently. Trust your instincts, but verify them through observation. And most importantly, give yourself permission to ask questions and seek clarity when needed. This principle isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about honoring your worth. When you approach relationships with a healthy dose of skepticism, you set a standard for authenticity and accountability. You show that while your heart is open, your mind remains discerning, a combination that's both powerful and deeply attractive. As we near the end of this journey, let's move to our final silent action. Say no with confidence. This practice will help you solidify your boundaries and reinforce your self-worth in the most empowering way. Stay tuned. 9. Say no with confidence. How often do you find yourself saying yes to things that don't align with your values or desires? It's a common struggle. Perhaps you agree to something because you don't want to disappoint someone, or maybe you fear rejection if you assert your boundaries. But here's a truth that can transform your relationships and your sense of self-worth. Saying no is one of the most powerful ways to honor your true value. Saying no isn't just about setting limits with others. It's about affirming your own needs, desires, and principles. When you say no with confidence, you communicate to the world and to yourself that you value your time, energy, and emotions. It's a quiet yet profound act of self-respect. Let's explore this deeper. Think back to a moment when you reluctantly said yes to something that didn't feel right. Maybe it was agreeing to plans that disrupted your schedule or saying yes to a favor when you were already stretched thin. How did that make you feel? Likely it left you feeling depleted, perhaps even resentful. Now imagine how empowering it would have been to confidently say no, knowing that by doing so, you were protecting your well-being. Why is this so important? The Stoics were champions of this principle. They taught that we must act in accordance with our own values, regardless of external pressures. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, and one of the most controllable aspects of life is how we choose to respond to requests and demands. Saying no is a way to exercise that control and stay true to yourself. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Saying no can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're someone who values harmony or fears confrontation. But here's the key. It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about setting boundaries with grace and clarity. A confident no doesn't require lengthy explanations or apologies. It can be as simple as, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I'll have to pass." And here's the beautiful part. When you start saying no with confidence, you'll notice a shift in how people respond to you. They'll begin to respect your boundaries, and more importantly, they'll respect you. You'll no longer be seen as someone who can be easily swayed or taken for granted. Instead, you'll be recognized as someone who values their time and energy, someone who knows their worth. Let's take a moment for self-reflection. Is there an area in your life where you've been saying yes too often? What would change if you started saying no? Imagine the freedom and peace you could create by simply asserting your boundaries. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. In the comments, share a time when saying no helped you reclaim your time or energy. How did it feel? How did others respond? Your experience could inspire someone else to embrace this powerful practice. As we bring this journey to a close, let's revisit the overarching lesson. Your worth isn't defined by how much you can give or how often you can please others. It's defined by your willingness to live authentically, honor your boundaries, and show up as your true self. Before we wrap up, let's look at how these 9 actions come together to create a life of dignity, respect, and connection. Stick around for the conclusion, you won't want to miss it. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered 9 powerful silent actions, each one a stepping stone toward showing your loved one and the world your true worth. These aren't just tips or strategies, they're timeless principles rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism, guiding you to live a life of authenticity, confidence, and quiet strength. These actions, when practiced together, form a symphony of self-worth. They create a life where you don't just attract love and respect, you command it through your quiet confidence and unwavering integrity. But here's the final piece of wisdom. This journey doesn't end here. Every day is an opportunity to practice these principles, to deepen your self-awareness, and to strengthen your connections. The world will continue to test your boundaries, challenge your values, and question your worth. Your task is not to prove yourself to others, but to remain steadfast in your understanding of who you are. Now, it's your turn. Which of these silent actions resonated with you the most? Have you experienced the power of walking away, setting boundaries, or saying no with confidence? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your insights could be the spark someone else needs to start their own journey of self-discovery. If this message spoke to you, consider taking a moment to like this video. It helps spread these timeless lessons to others who might need them. And don't stop there. Subscribe to the channel for more wisdom and share this video with someone you know who's ready to unlock their true worth. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, you are the architect of your life. Embrace your inner strength, honor your values, and let your silent actions speak volumes. Until next time, stay wise, stay authentic, and continue to live with dignity.